What situation is introvert's nightmare? Being forced into public speaking last moment. Here's mine. Meeting a coworker that you don't know very well on the train, locking eyes and having to engage in conversation for the next 30 to 40 minutes. All you want to do is read your book, but there's no way out and you decide to put up a brave front. They're not thrilled to see you because you already have a reputation for being kind of weird. The more you talk, the weirder they think you are. You can see it in their eyes. Already you can hear the office gossip in your head. Oh my god, guess who I was stuck on the train with? Nightmare fuel. Work from home was a blessing in this regard. I was the weird coworker, and generally antisocial, so when I spotted a coworker on the bus to work with me, I had no idea how to handle the situation. I panic froze and was practically shaking with dread. My brilliant solution was to pretend I didn't see them, except we got off the bus at the exact same spot to go to work together. You would think I'd face reality and say hello at that point, but no. I speed walked ahead of them into work, continuing to act like I didn't see them. Part of me really believed it was a plausible excuse. But then once we got into work together, I realized I fucked up and spent the rest of the day being extremely nice to her, going out of my way to make conversation in a generally out of character way. She eventually realized that I was just extremely awkward and we became friends over time. A couple of my other coworkers still laugh at me about this to this day. I used to be this way until the day I arrived at a meeting thoroughly pissed off about something. I was itching to get it off my chest, and just as I came to a boiling point, my supervisor mentioned me, and my nerves went out the window. I spilled everything I had to say and everyone in the meeting nodded and spoke up in agreement. The moral of the story is that when you're in a meeting, everyone else there has no idea what they're doing, and everyone who seems to have it together is basically faking it, and is completely full of shit. Once you do that, you can't help but feel like the most competent person in the room. I'm a supervisor now at a much better company. Sky's the limit once you realize that you're not inferior to the idiots you work with. Remember, introversion, social anxiety. Well, the two can of course mix. Introverts are people who charge their batteries when they're alone and have me time, and get drained faster when in a group of people. You can be a social introvert. I think what people in the comments are assuming is that introverts are people who hate social interaction or public events. That's not necessarily true. Something we have in the Netherlands that is called hospituurwoning. Basically, students here share a house, like a normal family house, where each person rents a room, and you share a living space, kitchen and bathroom together. And to get one of those rooms, the rest of the house usually has to pick you as their new roommate. So, they organize these evenings where you go to the house and you meet the people living there, show the room, and they get the chance to get an impression of you, and possibly pick you to rent the room. It's the worst because you constantly have to show them how much fun you are and how great you are, and it is literally my nightmare and one of the reasons I never rented a student room lol. From personal experience, I will say introducing myself. I'm really shy in person, social situations drain me, and I simply prefer my own company. So, name is Paloma, Dove in English, and growing up I'd always get made fun of by my name. I'd get bird calls pointed at me, bread and rice thrown at me, overall, just shaming me for something I didn't choose. I didn't choose that name. I couldn't understand why my name was so triggering to these people. Today, I love my name, it's a symbol of peace. I find it such a beautiful name and it represents me very well. So, fuck them kids. Selling yourself is difficult. I always feel like I'm bragging, or I have self-doubt. We need someone who can do X, I can do X. I have 5 years' experience doing Y, which is similar to X, in my brain, but can you really do X? It's not exactly like Y, so you even know what you're talking about. You're just going to surprise them in your first week with how little you know. You're just wasting their time and yours. You can't do this, and the 5 years' experience with Y, come on. That wasn't really doing Y, that was like doing some kiddie version of Y, and you had a lot of help. You're just making up stuff that you think you can do. Your parents force you to go to a summer camp because they loved going to camp when they were kids. It's one where you're not allowed a phone, sleep in a cabin with 12 other kids, plus 2 of the peppiest, overly upbeat, overbearing camp counselors ever to exist. It's day 1 of a week-long camp. The morning starts with a 6 a.m. whack-up shout from Counselor A, who leads the cabin in a morning song before you're led to the communal showers. After everyone is dressed, it's time for breakfast at the mess hall, where the camp leader has everyone sing the camp motto song before food is served. The food is everything you hate in particular. The day is then filled with a barrage of group activities. Rockwall, group crafts, a talent show, swimming in a gross pond, in a bathing suit you hate that makes you feel self-conscious, more camp songs, a second talent show, why? Overly competitive sports, etc. Finally, after singing for the 100th time, dinner is over and people return to their cabins to sleep. You counselors, however, decide before bedtime everyone needs to sit in a circle and share with the group about their lives. This share circle is going to happen every night of camp. One final obstacle each day to the minor reprieve, that is lights out. It's been 6 days of this level of constant overhyped interaction. It's lights out after the last day. You've done it, you survived. You go to sleep knowing tomorrow you get to go home. At 6 a.m. you are startled awake by your camp counselor. You're filled with a sense of deja vu and dread. It dawns on you that this is day 1 of camp all over again. You're stuck in a time loop, Groundhog's Day style. An eternity of summer camp on repeat. An eternity in hell. I hate being the center of attention, so I specifically request my birthday be removed from the monthly calendars that are distributed company-wide. My former department director looked my birthday up anyway. He threw a surprise birthday party with cake, and the entire department sang to me. I pushed through it, but hated being surrounded by a bunch of people that I didn't care for. Anyway, my manager saw how uncomfortable I was after I went back to my desk, and he's sort of a jokester, so he told the director I was Jehovah's Witness, not true, and that he could get in trouble for not respecting my religious beliefs. The next year the director still got a cake for me, but there was no celebration. The cake was placed in a common area, and everyone just grabbed a slice at their leisure, without having to make inane small talk or sing awkwardly to me. Your spouse dying. Good luck dealing with that on your own. Dealing with it by adding a bunch of social interactions that you're not used to is so hard too, but probably inevitable. After the helping social interactions, acting like things are okay or normal is brutally exhausting. No way to refill the tank anymore, just perennially empty. It sucks so hard. For me, the nightmare thought is prisoner military life or anything with barrack-style living accommodations. I'm not shy or socially anxious. Being an introvert, to me, means I just don't have a large supply of social fuel in my tank. I can be charming and friendly in conversation. I'm not afraid to give a speech in front of a group. My problem is that I just can't do these things all day. After I run out of energy, I need to go and find a quiet place to be by myself away from people, in order to get my energy back. The thought of living in a large room with many other people and no chance to ever be alone, give me the heebie-jeebies. Extroverted people gain energy from social situations. Introverted people lose energy. That's the key difference. In fact, I enjoy being friendly and outgoing with people. I just can't do it for very long. Once my tank runs dry, I'm out. I'm leaving. I'll be under that tree over there for a while. No, I don't want company. No, I'm not mad. I'm just done. See you tomorrow. My personal worst. I'm an introvert, but really good at socializing. Thank you bartending and teaching and growing up with many siblings. I don't have social anxiety, just an introvert. So, I want my alone time. Living in a dorm sucked, you are never alone. But at least my roommates over those years understood, had their own studies, were gone to class when I was in the room, etc. No, the worst basic training. Literally never alone, living in a bay of 30 people. I had gone on less sleep during college, 4-hour naps between 20 credits and working overnight security, but basic had me so drained all the time. The other worst. I married a textbook extrovert. Without any preparation or even a heads up beforehand, suddenly being called to talk in front of a large group of people. Being at a party where you basically don't know anyone. A friend suddenly dragging you along to some big event with lots of people noise, even though you plan to just relax and recharge at home that day. Specifically, for me, and not always but, after a busy day at work with lots of people and noise around you, I work in a kitchen, your coworkers drag you along for a drink. After days like that I just want to go home, sit in front of my PC, watch some YouTube, and maybe play a relaxing game. The last thing I'd want is spend another 2 hours with tons of people and noise around me. Looking forward to your commute on the train so you can hide, zone out, read, Reddit, be anonymous, whatever, and then running into someone you know, but don't have a good relationship with, and having to make small talk with them on the train for about 30 minutes or more, and they are by coincidence going in the same basic direction as you after they get off, so you're forced to walk with them. Also, the train is very crowded and it's a hot day, and you know you have a busy day at work. So, you're already dreading the day and very overstimulated before meeting this person. And said person is one of those people who just sucks your energy because they constantly talk about everything you're not interested in. This is my hell. Had this last weekend. I have 2 groups of friends. One from childhood and one from college. They have never interacted with each other because they live in different states, but the states are bordering, so they are all within driving distance. Last week I took some time off during the week to hang out with my childhood friends in one city, and then had plans to hang out at an Airbnb on the coast with the college group. At the end of my visit with the childhood group, they decide that the coast sounds fun and say that they are going to go camping in the coastal town that I am going to. They have a camper RV and decide to just park next door to the Airbnb we are renting. I hadn't seen the childhood friends since before the pandemic, so I understand them trying to maximize our time together, but as an introvert, I now had to navigate and balance 2 social groups who don't know each other, with myself being the only common denominator. Neither group really knows how introverted I am, and we kind of all pretend like we are still in our 20s. But as I've gotten older, my introversion and resulting anxiety has gotten a lot worse, and since I'm home by myself and my dog 95% of the time, I don't really feel the need to broadcast this information. It didn't go great. I was self-medicating with too much alcohol and THC, and ended up passing out around 9 p.m. on Saturday night. I think my body-mind just didn't want to deal with it anymore. In the grand scheme, I think everyone got along fine. It was just me who was forced to live a worst-case scenario, which I rationally know wasn't really a big deal, but it fucking sucked for me. Not to mention all of the money and time spent over a 5-day period with lots of hours in the car. I don't enjoy driving, that was not that really fun for me, and didn't allow me to recharge for this coming work week. My dog loves the coast though, so seeing her happy running around and exploring definitely helped. Maybe not as dire as many of the answers already on here, but having to ask someone, even people you know, for a ride. I recently took my car to a repair shop that didn't offer rides to somewhere while the repairs are being done. I usually just wait around the shop, but this time the repair was going to take almost all day. Not knowing that, I at first told the person at the counter that I would just wait. He said I should bring it back another day when I had a ride. I never have a ride, I said. You can't get a ride. He responded. Ugh. I learned how to use Lyft that day. My personal one was the first day of my master's degree in creative writing. Not only am I socially inept both with strangers and with people I know, even family, we were asked to write a piece of prose. We got a few prompts, and then stand up and read our writing out to the group. I'd never met these people before and already felt out of my depth. Worst case of imposter syndrome I've ever had. I remember standing there, voice quivering, hands trembling, trying to get my way through reading my own work out, which the lecturer criticized anyway. Yeah, not for the faint-hearted, which I am.